right. Jesse on fire. Welcome back to the show. So, you read the title, saw the thumbnail. Trump is now essentially saying what I was saying I said what he was saying, when he first started with this, like, it's all fraud, it's all made up, it's a scam by the Democrats. Now he is he's just saying it openly that, like, yes, he's on the list. Like, the story came out that his name was on the list. There's a lot of that reporting, and there's also very interesting details about what they're saying about his involvement, what he's on, like what it says about him on the list. I imagine that that certain media outlets are probably only going to report that he's on the list. They're probably not going to report the other part. But we're going to get into all of that because also we got some other stuff to look at, which is this one as well. I haven't even read this article yet. Okay, so we're going to go through this one first. We're going to go through. I guess Trump was on a trip to Scotland and got asked about the list, and he started talking about it and basically acknowledged that he was in the files. And and you can read the headline is saying that Biden did it as revenge. So we're going to get into all of that stuff, right? And but then this story also, dude, this is the first I had ever heard of Trump speaking specifically about why he ended his friendship with Epstein. But this, like, literally, we're going to find out about this together. All I've read is the headline, right? Epstein, he ended his friendship with Epstein because he stole people that work for me. That is the amount that I have read on that. And then we're going to get into this story, which is the story about Bibi Netanyahu blackmailing Bill Clinton with a tapped phone call that he got of Clinton on the phone with Monica Lewinsky. Okay. Which is so crazy when you actually think about the implications of that right there. You know what I mean? It's like, hang on. A foreign country tapped the phone of the president of the United States and then used it as leverage against him. Like, what? You know what I mean? It seems like that should be a slightly bigger story. You know what I mean? But we're going to go through all of those stories, and we're going to start first. We'll start with the headline story about what Trump said about being on the list and all of this, because literally this is all I've read too. Because I was traveling today. I'm in Vegas right now. I'm doing the Sean Mike Kelly show tomorrow and then flying home. So we're going to look at this. We're going to look at all of those things. What's up, everybody? How are you guys? Oh, also, you know what? I forgot about this. I forgot. Someone literally just reminded me in the chat about this story also, because check this out. So, oops, let me go back here. Ghislaine Maxwell filed her Supreme Court brief appealing her Epstein conviction. She's asking for her conviction to get overturned. So, all right, Oh, cool. Yeah. A real travesty. A travesty of justice. You know what I mean? A real tragedy. Oh, hey, my channel's become some bullshit, huh? Okay. I'm all, hey, let me read the fucking news to you. He's all, this is just total bullshit on your channel. I'm like, I'm literally reading news articles to you, fucking retard. Anyway, so why don't you go? Never mind. That's just been one of those days, dude. I had some guy sitting in my fucking lap on the plane today, so it was aggravating. I love the rest of you guys, though. Anyway, all right, so let's go through this. So Donald Trump suggests Biden administration put his name in the Epstein files as payback, okay? So again, we talked about this. Like, and by the way, if you guys have been paying attention to my screen lately, it's like every time I pull something up, it's like, oh, Jesse, you must be shopping for watches. All it does is just put watches, automatically populates every single ad with watches. And I am shopping watches. But anyway, so Donald Trump just suggested his name appears in the Epstein files because his enemies, Joe Biden, James Comey, and Merrick Garland, put his name in the files to smear him. Which sounds, I mean, does that sound like implausible to you guys? Oh my God, that sounds totally implausible. It's like, so what else do we know? It's like, well, we know that the previous administration created the Russia, the entire Russiagate investigation and fabricated connections between Trump's banks and Russia and put him through like a 3.5-year investigation, which came up with literally nothing. And the same people also were in charge of the Epstein files. They never came out with anything throughout the entire time that he was running for president, which they would have done, you would think. And suddenly they're all, give us the fucking, hey, turn over the files. They're all right, here are the files. Go ahead, release them. Does that sound like hard to believe? Like what he's saying, does that sound hard to believe? But also, he also knew Epstein. So like the idea that it's impossible, that they're like, of course he's in the files. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of what is in there, because there's tons of people who are in there. What up, Jesse? Coming to you from Antioch, California. What's up, dude? Antioch, California, dude. I went to Dale Salmon, man. Thank you for the truth is refreshing. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so he was speaking in Scotland on Monday when he casually dropped the conspiracy theory. He called the Biden trio the worst scum on earth, adding that they controlled the Epstein Justice Department files for 4 years. Well, that's true. What about that is not true? Now the conspiracy theory. Trump said, I was running against someone who ran the files. They can easily put something in the files that's phony. See, this is the thing, dude. Here's the thing. I wish I would have pulled this up earlier. Well, let me see if it's in this article, because there's also a bunch of talk specifically about what's in the files, right? Because they say like there's like a few days ago, there was a report that what had happened was that Pam Bondi brought the files to Trump and was like, hey, dude, you're in this a lot more than we anticipated. What do you want us to do? And so that's when this whole fiasco started. But in that same report, which apparently came from like a administration insider, the same people who ran that story also ran the story that there was nothing in the file that actually implicated him in any crimes. So it was like, yeah, you're in the file a bunch, but there was no implication of like any criminal wrongdoing. So it's hard to say, like, I don't know. It's hard to say what's actually in there. Jesse, hold their feet to the fire. Oh, I will, dude. Of course. And listen, dude, if it turns out Trump touched kids, you think I'm going to let him off the hook for that, dude? Do you know what I mean? I would assume anyone, regardless of who they think they like, if they find out that whoever they thought they liked is a child molester, they would burn them at the stake, obviously. Like, I would assume that would go without saying, but I'm certainly not going to like operate under the assumption that the president of the United States is a kitty diddler when there's literally no evidence of that whatsoever. Like none, zero. There is not one bit of evidence, nothing that indicates that the guy ever fucked around with kids, aside from the fact that he was friends with a guy who definitely was a prolific child molester, who also was friends with every other elite. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is all known stuff. Okay, so Trump went on to say the Biden administration had the ability to release the files, that there was something in them, but there was no smoking gun, so that never became public. Trump called Biden and co. his enemy, so the suggestion is either during or after the election, they put Trump's name in the files. Okay, but like the thing is that no one knows the specifics of exactly what's in the files. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, put his name in there, but like, what does that mean? By the way, can I just say something really quick? Oh man, not this one. Anybody who knows Rolexes, how sexy is this Sky Dweller right here? I want to take this fucking watch on a date and then fuck it. Anyway, Trump's okay. So it says TMZ broke the story several weeks ago. Trump's name appears in the files multiple times. However, we're told there's nothing in the file that suggests inappropriate conduct on Trump's part. A slew of names are mentioned in the files, including former Cuban dictator Fidel Castro. Stay tuned. Well, we know Fidel Castro touched kids, assuming that Trudeau's mom was a kid at the time. Ayo. Ayo. Get it, guys? Get it? Because Fidel Castro is Justin Trudeau's father. For those of you who are here hate watching, I just want to show you something really quick. Just before we move on. Okay. Just before we move on. Oh my God, bro. That is the stupidest conspiracy theory. Okay. Obviously, Fidel Castro is not Justin Trudeau's father. Okay. So right there. Okay. That's Justin Trudeau's mother. This is Fidel Castro. This is Justin Trudeau's father. Okay. She is absolutely widely known to have been like a lunatic party girl The Rolling Stones, she banged all of the Rolling Stones. Like they're like road crew and shit, according to rumors. But this is where the rubber really hits the road, guys. Okay. So on the, hang on, let me make myself small. So on your, why won't this zoom in, dude? Oh man, it won't let me zoom in for you guys. But look close, okay? On the left is Justin Trudeau, and on the right is Fidel Castro. The one in the middle, they're the same fucking person, dude. They're the same person. They're the same person. So I don't want to hear that being a conspiracy theory. That is, I mean, unless it's the ultimate coincidence that they're identical twins and she's holding onto his arm, and you know what I mean? Come on. Yair Ruiz, what's up, dude? How are you, man? Thank you for the super chat. Did you see the lady that sold a black book she found in New York in the 90s on eBay to fund her break change? Her break change. It's apparently 90s Epstein's black book, and the guy that bought it lives on a farm, and he sent it out to forensics recently. I mean, that's one of those things where it's like, hey, dude, I mean, like, this is my honest take on that, is like, oh, shit, dude. Did you know that fucking these Skittles got eaten by Kobe right after the championship game? Trust me, you could buy these Skittles for 5 G's. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking prove it. You know what I mean? It's just my, I mean, that's my instant take on a story like that, you know? Dubs, what's up, dude? You fucking pimp. What are you doing? So if UFOs cannot be detected by our radar, how the fuck do we know they are coming in November? Well, currently the story is that this thing is in like outer space. It's in our solar system now, and it's like moving crazy fast towards us and the sun or something. Like radar, I mean, it would need to be within our atmosphere as far as I understand it for radar. But and sometimes UFOs do get picked up by radar. By the way, you guys go follow Dub's channel, dude. Excellent creator. DC, I missed this one, dude. What if he was with a 16-year-old who thought was 21 like Matt Gaetz? You know, it's funny that you say that, because I'm going to touch on that later. I'm going to touch on that exact thing later after we look at the Clinton thing, because I think there is a scenario where Israel, assuming that Israel was running Epstein, you know, assuming that they have leverage on Trump. I don't believe that Trump ever touched a kid, but when I was running through the story that we're about to run through with Clinton, I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, if they did that, here is a scenario where Trump's friendship with Epstein could have put him in a really bad spot now, where he wouldn't have actually touched a kid. You know, I mean, I'll explain it to you guys in a second. But as far as okay, if a guy has sex with a girl who tells the guy that they are 24 years old and they look old, and it turns out that they're 17 or whatever, right? And the girl lied to them, and you could confirm that 100%. That is a very tricky. How would you be mad at the guy for having sex with a 24-year-old? No. Do you know a lot of single guys that ask 24-year-old girls in a bar for an ID to confirm their age? No. So that's a weird situation. A person who is genuinely not aware, and I don't even know if that's even true about Matt Gaetz. I'm just saying that situation, that's a dicey one to burn someone down over. I don't think that this relates to Trump at all, but just in terms of that situation, it's dicey. They did call people for the book, but the news is shicey. And also it's who wrote the book? All it says that there's people in the book. How do you know that it was actually Epstein's book, or that, you know what I mean? Thank you for the super chat again. And Sam Wilson gifted 5 Jesse on Fire memberships. You're the man, dude. Congratulations to any of you guys who just got one. You'll love it. You'll love it. Okay, let me go to this Clinton story really quick now, because this will help me kind of lead into what I was going to say about where there could be leverage over Trump with Israel. Only because Trump bombed Iran, which was very confusing to us, to his voting base. That was, I mean, I don't know about you. I was very confused. Obviously, I talked about it on the channel. I'm like, what the fuck? I remember specifically voting for no foreign wars. Why are we bombing Iran? It just seemed bizarre. And then he did that post defending Bibi Netanyahu. which was like, what the like? It just is like, when I'm trying to figure out what's going on, I look for pattern behavior that have changed. Does that make sense? It's like, if you're dating a girl, okay, the reason you get suspicious that they're cheating on you is because, like, oh, the girl goes to work and she's always gotten home at 6 o'clock, right? And then all of a sudden, she starts coming home at 9 o'clock, and you can't get a hold of her from 6 until 9, like 2 times a week. And you're like, what's been going on? Like, no, oh, I've just been really busy at work. And you're like, all right, but like for a year, they were coming home at 6. Suddenly they're coming home at 9 and they're not answering their call. Changes of behavior that are not explained is a way to, and I don't know, Trump seemed pretty consistent about no foreign wars, and then that was weird. The Bibi Netanyahu post is kind of weird, but who knows? I know that the other thing is that Jared definitely has business deals between Saudi Arabia, Israel, and I'm pretty sure that when the October 7th attack happened, people keep kind of glossing over this, that there was about to be, I can't remember the exact term, the exact situation, but there was about to be a big deal between Israel and Saudi Arabia, and then the attack happened, and there was, I don't know, there was talk about Iran being behind it because they didn't want that deal to happen. I'm pretty sure that Jared had some kind of deal that he had brokered between all of them. So there could be business involved in this also. But anyway, let me get into this Clinton thing, and then I'll talk about the other.
But has been largely lost to contemporary memory. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was alleged to have blackmailed then President Bill Clinton by revealing to him that Israel had collected tapes of phone sex calls between the 42nd president and White House intern Monica Lewinsky. The story is worth revisiting amid allegations that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in a long-running Israeli blackmail operation of his own. So Clinton met with Netanyahu in the Oval Office in February 1997. Subsequently, according to testimony Lewinsky gave to the special counsel's office, Clinton's secretary Betty Curry reached out to Lewinsky to invite her to an Oval Office meeting, telling her Clinton, quote, had something important to tell her, unquote. It would turn out to be their final sexual encounter. But Clinton also used the opportunity to tell her that a, quote, foreign embassy had tapped his phone and recorded their conversation, Lewinsky said. Clinton did not specify which embassy, though the meeting with Lewinsky came the month after his meeting with Netanyahu. The special prosecutor's report was far more concerned with Lewinsky's claim of the sexual encounter that day because it contradicted Clinton's claim that they had had only one encounter that year than they were with the fact that a foreign government was spying on the president and letting.
How insane is that? How insane is that? And Jim, thank you very much, dude. Thank you for the super chat. Jesse, thank you for all your great humorous content. You bring a very fresh way to bringing, dude, I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much for the support. But do you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm not suggesting that we should have attacked Israel, but if you just take Israel out of the conversation and you just go, hey, one of our allies tapped the phone of the president, and then during a negotiation blackmailed the president with the contents of that phone call. Jesse, if you were the president, what would you do? Or if you were running, you were kind of behind the scenes, what would you do? I'd be like, I don't know, bomb that fucking country or something. I don't know. They blackmailed the American president. What the fuck are you talking about? No one's supposed to be able to allow us, you know what I mean? No one's supposed to be able to fucking blackmail the American president, dude. A foreign country that is so crazy to me.
Him know about it. The prosecutor was also interested in Clinton's response, namely that he proposed cover stories. These are cover stories that the two could employ if they were confronted with the tapes. Clinton suggested the pair say they knew they were under surveillance and the phone sex was a, quote, put on for whoever was listening. That's an awfully flimsy idea, but look, he was guilty. The man did not have much to work with. Now, in April, Netanyahu and...
Hey, keep in mind, for people who are a little bit younger and don't know the details of the Clinton and Monica Lewinsky situation, Clinton took a cigar and slid it in her lady parts, okay? And every person in America knew about that, okay? Slid a cigar into her ladies and then went, ooh, smells good, okay? Hey, what do you think he's saying to her on the fucking phone, dude? If in person, he's like, sliding my dick in there is not good enough. I need to slide inanimate objects so I can smoke up in that. Like, that's like fucking straight up dirtbag shit. I would never do that, dude. You know, like, that's just like, I don't know. That's gross. A cigar. You're all, I'm gonna smoke that vagina. It's just weird. So then on the phone, he must have been talking nasty, dude. He must have been talking real nasty. That phone call must have been fucked up, dude.
Clinton met again for a, quote, private visit. On a Saturday then in May 1997, Clinton again had Curry invite Lewinsky to the White House. During that visit, he broke up with her, Lewinsky testified. The next fall, so this is fall of 1998, Clinton hosted Netanyahu and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat.
Oh my God, that is really funny. Also, you better hope Hillary doesn't get your address, but that's really fucking funny.
That for a summit at Wye River, Maryland. Toward the end of the summit, at 7 a.m., after a long night of final negotiations and handshakes, Netanyahu approached Clinton privately to demand the release of convicted Israeli spy Jonathan Pollard, long a cause célèbre of the Israeli far right. That's according to reporting at the time from the New York Times. Now, Netanyahu brought up the sex tapes in the context of the Pollard demand, according to subsequent reporting by Washington Examiner editor Daniel Harper in his book, Clinton, Inc., The Audacious Rebuilding of a Political Machine. He writes, quote, not wanting to directly threaten the powerful American president, a crucial Israeli ally, Clinton was told that the Israeli government had thrown the tapes away, but the very mention of them was enough to constitute a form of blackmail, Halpern reported.
I'm sorry, I was reading chat and I just missed that. Let me go back to this really quick. Sorry, I want to read. Okay, sorry. Not wanting to direct. Okay, yeah, I had literally heard this exact. Okay, so not wanting to directly threaten the powerful American president, a crucial Israel ally, Clinton, was told that the Israeli government had thrown the tapes away, but the very mention of them was enough to constitute a form of blackmail. Right. Okay. So that's to me, that's really interesting because I've always wondered how does that first conversation go when whoever holds the blackmail material brings it to the person that they're going to lean on? You know what I mean? Like, does it just go from, hey, pal, I'm your best friend, to like, hey, guy, what the hell just happened? Oh, there we go. You know, 1 second, they're like, look, man, we're best friends. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, so remember all that stuff we were doing? You know, that was all a put on. I now have your fucking testicles in my hand and I can crush them if I want, or I can massage them if I want. Totally up to me. You know, your life's over as far as you're concerned, unless I decide to protect you, because here's what we have on you, you fuck. Or do they, or do you have to kind of like massage it so that you pretend like you're still their friend? It's like, look, man, I just want to make sure, you know, that nothing happens to you. Since, listen, we got this phone call. It's just, this foreign agent, they brought it to us. And don't worry, we locked them up in jail. But I just wanted you to know that we got rid of it. Now, what I would love for you to do, so you say it without saying it, I don't know. I don't know how to approach that. It's like the only time I've ever come into like really, really heavy information that could like damage a person's reputation. Like, it was a person I wanted to protect and I did, so yeah, I don't know. I've always thought about that though. Like, well, at least I used to think about that. I was a very different version of myself when I was building my company like 10 years ago. And I really believed that we were going to get this TV show and that like I was going to be in a very, very like powerful position. And I had plans for all kinds of shit. And one of them was absolutely to put private investigators on adversaries. Like, and this is way before I was even paying attention to this shit. It was just common sense to me. It was like, okay, well, all these guys are going to be doing dirt. It's this, this is how much money it's going to cost to put private investigators on people, get dirt on them, yada, yada. It's like, it's just, I don't know. Like, there's nothing that's surprising about any of this to me, right? But, okay, that's enough, though, because the point that I wanted to make about what I was saying about, like, that what dirt they could potentially have on Trump is, like, the thing that you can't even start to argue with is that Trump and Epstein were friends. Bottom line, there's no like to deny that is idiotic. They for sure were friends. And if you look at them interacting with each other, it's very clear the basis of their friendship, at least a lot of it, was that they were both like young, rich playboys who slayed a lot of tail. I mean, it's not even, you look at the quote from Trump, you look at the, excuse me, and you look at the video and he's like, hey, look at this one. Look at that little tight package. Okay. And it's like, Mr. Jiggleballs, thank you very much. Fuck the haters who don't like you and Shab's show. I enjoy it random, but what ended up happening to the crazy art teacher who took her mental illness out on your daughter? Oh, much love, man. So that's a whole other thing. We haven't done anything else about it. We've kind of left it alone. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. And I don't know who the hell would not like our show, dude. I mean, geez, it's objectively good. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. Besides, I have I have a good relationship with my trolls. Like, today, some guys like this dude I was at the airport and I saw a comment. It was like, oh, hey, Jesse says he's good at reading people. Guy falls for every fucking story and then clickbaits all of us. And I commented and I looked and he had commented on 80 videos. I was like, hey, says the guy who watches every single one of my videos and then pretends like he doesn't care about my opinion. And he commented back. He's like, I'm just joking. I fucking love your content, dude. No, that's what I'm saying. Is like, that's why I don't ever get mad at my trolls. I'll just fuck around with them in the, on the live because I just assume that they just want to, they know, like, you're not going to make me mad. I think it's funny, dude. I think it's funny. But I love everybody. I don't like people who are really mean to Shab, though. Like, people who are actually, like, truly, genuinely mean to Shab, that shit I don't like at all. I don't like it at all. It's just mean. And I fucking love that guy, dude. But anyway, okay, so here, let me just focus for a second. So this is where I think that Trump could have gotten himself into a bad spot. If you think about it like this, right? They were tapping phones. This is why I thought this today. Because now, after seeing that Clinton thing, it's like, okay, so they're tapping phones, right? Like, I mean, it's obvious in hindsight. I had only been looking at this Epstein thing through the lens of like, what did he get them to do in person that he could have recorded or gotten video of? And for some reason, it never even dawned on me that, of course, he's recording every single phone call he's ever had. I record phone calls. Like, not, I record certain phone calls, not even necessarily like about like, but, so like, of course, Epstein was recording every single fucking phone call. Of course, and if you take that into consideration and then you look at how Trump interacted with him and that like, hey, that girl, hey, she's hot. And then you got the quote from Trump, which is like, Jeffrey's he's a good time guy. We're buddies. And some say he loves women as much as I do. Some of them are on the young side. Like, people look at that and they think that it implicates Trump in something. And I see that exactly opposite. I see it as like, Trump's like, we both like women. Epstein seems to kind of like them on the young side. However, because of the way that he said that, like how easily he said that in that interview, and this is all before he got convicted of anything. I'm thinking about phone calls that could have happened between those guys, just because, like, two guys who are single and I know Trump was married, periodically, but obviously he was, like Trump back then, married was not really super important to whether or not he was banging other chicks or not. And this is not like hypothesis to me about how guys like that talk to each other about girls. Okay. And so if you take for granted that these guys are talking in that way all the time and they get on the phone and obviously Trump doesn't think anybody's listening, there is a very real scenario where, given the fact that he trusts Epstein, right? Like, Epstein's taking advantage of him. Like, you have to keep that in mind also. Like, people think of this as like, oh, like they're like co-conspirators or whatever. It's like, no. Epstein is taking advantage of him. Like, Epstein is pretending to be his friend to try to get damaging information on him. Trump is like, he's like a good time Charlie guy who's talking about girls, and Epstein is trying to entrap him, dude. So the likelihood that Epstein would have said something about him, like, oh, you should have seen these girls, whatever, and would have said something about like 17-year-old girls, who knows, something like that. Trump's response to that would, like, at any point, if Epstein had kind of conditioned him that he liked a young girl, that Epstein liked young girls, And in some way was like, I'm sure he didn't say he likes fucking 14-year-olds, but maybe like said something about a high school girl or fucking whatever, right? And then Trump gave like an answer that sounded like he is like down with it, even if he's just kind of talking to his buddy, like, oh, whatever, even if he didn't do anything. If he ever said anything like that on the phone, that's very easy for me to believe that he would have, in the situation where he's like talking to one of his friends and he doesn't realize the guy's like an actual pedophile at the time. Imagine how damaging that would be to his reputation now. Like if they were played a tape like that, it would bury him, dude. People wouldn't be able to play that. First of all, this is coming from someone who lived like, I was in a fraternity. Like this is like chasing after girls was absolutely fucking, that was my entire life when I was in college. So like I understand that world. It's not everybody's even lived that. So I'm going to be way more lenient on that kind of talk than a lot of people will be. Like, think about like his Christian right base. If they heard him flippantly respond to some scumbag talking about fucking a high school girl, do you know what I mean? Like, bottom line, like something like that, a phone call or phone calls where he said things like that, where Epstein was literally trying to entrap him. He's trying to entrap him. That seems totally possible to me. Now, here's the other thing about that, though. I have no idea if that exists or not. But the other thing about that, though, is that even if that call exists, that doesn't mean that's in the file. Everybody is assuming that whatever someone would have done or not done, like anything anyone would have done or not done, that would be in the possession of like Maureen Comey or whatever. Like if that stuff was in the possession of anyone, it would be in the possession of Israeli intelligence and fucking Netanyahu. Like those are the guys who would have it. Why the fuck would the prosecutor in New York have something that valuable? Like, you think that Israel's just going to give that up? Like, of course they're going to keep it for themselves. Like why would the prosecutors have that? The prosecutors have the accusers, the girls who are saying that, Epstein did XYZ to them. Okay, like they don't have access to every single piece of blackmail the guy, like accumulated over 30 fucking years. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I don't know. This is something I was thinking about today. Peter, thank you very much for the super chat. Why are you not live on Rumble? YouTube won't let me super chat. What I want. Oh, the narrative of the left needs to be grabbed. Yeah, T-Dog was doing it. These losers are losing more and more. They think they're winning. That's what's funny, dude. Like they think this is like some big W. And that's not, and it's, I mean, I guess it kind of is, like, because now they get to just like tell the story. They're all Trump's Trump and Epstein are the same. And you're like, based on what evidence, dude? You know what I mean? Like, there's literally no evidence at all. None. And as a matter of fact, it's like, and even in the fucking story where he's talking about being on the list, I'm sure the reason he started talking about this is because of the previous report that they put out that, he found out he was on the list and told Pam Bondi to kill to just like put a lid on it. Okay, well, here you go. It's like, even in that story, which is their big fucking gotcha, it's like Trump's name appears in files multiple times. However, we're told there's nothing in the file that suggests inappropriate conduct on Trump's part. That's in the big expose. That's like Trump's name was in the files. That's when he told Pam Bondi to just kill the story. Like, Trump clearly miscalculated how big of a deal this was going to be with his base. Obviously, I think it's fair to assume that that's the case, that he did not understand. There was no scenario we were going to let go of Epstein ever. Like, that was never going to happen. And then there's other stuff too. They're like, oh, Trump flew on his jet. And it's like, yeah, he did. And there are pictures of him with his wife and kid on the jet. Like, Clinton flew on his jet to his island 27 times. And we've known that for how long? And they never even cared. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm telling you right now, if there is ever evidence that Trump put hands on kids, I'm fucking done with him. Like, super done with him. But there isn't. And I don't believe there will be. And on the flip side of that, all these people that are now jumping down Trump's throat, oh, Trump's a blah, 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 y'all, are you fucking serious? There's been photographs of Clinton with these girls that have been open about the fact that they're victims. And it's like, here's a picture of Clinton getting a massage from these girls. He flew on him with the island 27 times. And where the fuck were they then? They don't care. They don't stand for shit. That's why I don't respect them. They don't stand for anything, dude. They don't stand for anything. If it's common sense. It's common sense that Clinton obviously was doing whatever. I'm not saying he's fucking like 12-year-olds, but he certainly seems to have probably been banging 16-year-olds, most likely. I mean, he's in the photographs with them. And they never cared about that. They never even made a fucking sound about that. And as soon as there's this like kind of suspicion on Trump, there is not even 1% of the evidence on Trump that there is on Clinton. And they never mentioned it once. All these same people never a single time mentioned it about Clinton. They would have elected Hillary Clinton in 1 second. All of them voted for Hillary Clinton, knowing all this stuff about Bill Clinton and Epstein. And then as soon as it's like Trump and there's still no fucking evidence, all of them are screaming and pulling their fucking hair out. They're frauds, dude. They're frauds, dude. They're frauds. Because I'm telling you directly, I'm looking straight at the camera. I'll tell every single one of you, if there's evidence that Trump did anything with kids, I'm fucking done with it. But there's not. So, do you know what I mean? Ryan Draming, thank you very much. And thank you for being a member for 7 months, my dude. I'm pushing 40. My uncle is pushing 60, like them young. Is pushing 60, like them young. I just assumed in their 30s or something like that is young in comparison. 20 is young. Well, okay. I'm pretty sure that it's fair to assume that when Trump said that Epstein likes him young, he meant he likes him young because he fucking likes him young. Like he likes him young, you know? And I think that, prior to, oh wait, hang on. Sorry. Did I miss one? Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. I missed this one. Joel Greenberg was giving 16-year-old girls real 21-year-old IDs and then bringing them to parties and passing them around. Guess what country? Yeah, that is entrapment, dude. Straight up. That's entrapment. And especially if the girls look 21. You know? Like if the girl, I'm sorry, that's just entrapment. That is not a thing. I mean, it's a tough fucking sell. It's a really tough sell. If a public figure, it comes out that they've, put their dick in a 16-year-old, like, bro, that's an uphill battle for you to defend. But if it's a court of law and someone brings it to me and you prove absolutely 100% that they believed she was 21 and they took steps to trick the guy into believing they're 21, they're off the hook for me, just bottom line. If you're common sense YouTuber, we all love FDems. You're the common sense YouTuber. We all love FDems. Okay, got it. Thank you very much for the super chat, Stud. I understand what you were saying now. You're the man, dude. Thank you very much. But that's what I'm saying. It's like anybody who's yelling, "Oh, Trump's a pedophile." Okay. Well, where were you? Did you vote for Hillary? You voted for Hillary Clinton, like you voted for Hillary Clinton, right? Okay. Again, how would they what defense would they have for that? You voted for Clinton. Yes. You know that Clinton had 1,000 times the evidence that he was doing bad shit with Epstein than Trump does. You've never said a fucking word about that, which means you don't actually care about this. This is just an opportunity for you to pretend you care about this when you don't. You know what I mean? There you go. I mean, I don't like the whole fucking clickbait thing. I don't understand it. Like that, you really think that I'd be like, oh yeah, Trump admits he's on the list. It's like every time that I say it, every fucking time I do a title, it is exactly what the video is. Like every time. Now, you might be able to figure out that it was a very clever way that I worded it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, okay. Like if you think and you go, he said this, all right, well, that is actually exactly what this is. That's not clickbait. That's just being good at my job. But yes, he did admit it and suggested that, accused Biden of spiking the file. Todd Reddington, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you very much. That is very generous. You're the fucking man, dude. I thought that said New York. That's why I paused, because I realized I had not mentioned this shooting in New York that I should probably mention before I hop off. So if you guys didn't know, female NYPD officer killed among 5 shot in an NYC shooting, gunman dead at Blackstone building. NYPD and Sheriff's Department personnel in protective gear seen with guns drawn at Midtown building. Oh my God, is that oh, come on, dude. God, nothing but, okay. All, like, literally, it's like
found
the internet is like Jesse shopping watches, Jesse shopping watches, Jesse shopping watches, just absolutely nonstop. Ryan Drabing, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you very much, my dude. Okay, so I'm going to respond to this one. Of course he said it was the Dems, and of course MAGA believe him. All right, so how about we just skip to the part where the Dems that ran the report that said Trump's name is in the file, okay, that's why he's admitting it now, also put this, by the way, the absolute last sentence of the entire fucking article. Trump's name appears in the file multiple times. However, we're told there's nothing in the file that suggests any inappropriate conduct on Trump's part. Weird. Like, I don't know. I'm shocked that they didn't put that part as the headline, you know? That's not the headline. Trump was in the Epstein files, but the files specifically suggest he didn't do anything wrong. They're all, ugh. How about we just say Trump's name's in the files? Okay, let's go to this New York story, though. This is actually, okay, so I just wanted to see if that was, I wanted to see if that was, if that guy was really just walking down the fucking street with a rifle like that in New York. I don't know. Like, that seems crazy to me. I've never seen, okay, hang on. Let's,
I believe we're hearing reports that it was an automatic rifle. I'm not sure we've confirmed
no way.
But if it was, what does that tell you?
No way. A fully automatic rifle. Any of you gun guys, have you guys heard of that? That sounds very unlikely. Kimberly, what's up, dude? Thank you very much. There's no way. Do I have any 2A guys in the chat? Any 2A guys know? Is that verified? The guy 20 he shot himself too? I thought the cops killed him. Look, Mr. Liquidity, all of us can get along, dude. You know?
Well, Jesse, we are hearing through channels that it looks like some type of AR style rifle. Looks like it had a 30-round magazine in it. Jesse, it just seems odd if the pictures that are.
I keep thinking he's talking to me, dude. Peter, what's up, man? Thank you again, dude. Clapper, Obama, Hillary, Comey, many others should be put away with a thick string, no key, no cameras that are broken, no guards, asleep, no more, dude. Well, we'll see what Bongino comes up with in that in his investigation that he's referencing that I put the video out on earlier. You know who needs to be put away with absolutely no cameras, no broken, no guards is that fucking guy who flatlined that girl in the fight in Cincinnati. I can't show that video because it'll get 18 plus, but I assume a lot of you guys have seen the video of those dudes, like the huge group of black, like, you know, that's how it's being presented too. It's like all these black guys jumping these like this small group of white people. Apparently the white guy put a hand on the black guy first, but then first of all, he didn't punch him or anything, but they beat the fucking shit out of these guys. And at the end, the wife, okay, like this dude, if you haven't seen it, to say that this guy had been severely beaten is the understatement of the century. Like, this guy was unconscious. He couldn't, then they picked him up and he tried to walk away. He fell over again. Like, the guy was murked. Okay. He was like completely done. And they were rolling up on him again. They were going to attack him again. And the guy's wife came over and was getting in between them. And she's like, please. She's like begging them to not beat her husband to death. And some piece of shit on the side who's not sitting in front of her flatlines her, just fucking like eyes open, starched, flatlined, absolutely unconscious. I would never say out loud the words that were in my head when I, like, dude, when I saw that, I was like, If that fucking guy doesn't go to prison, like if that guy doesn't end up with a sentence over 20 years, then Cincinnati's a joke, Ohio's a joke, anyone involved in law enforcement in that area is a fucking joke. Like, it's on video. She's begging them to not beat her husband, and a man, when she's not looking, punches her square in the jaw and flatline. The fact that she's alive is a fucking miracle. The whole reason, okay, I never really talked very much about why I started doing jiu-jitsu. Peter Gohawk's wordplay with YouTube is regarded. Exactly, dude. Okay, but one of the reasons why I started training jiu-jitsu is specifically because I don't ever, ever want to punch a person ever again. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm too afraid, dude. Like, I saw two different times when a person that, like, stories that I knew about where a guy punched a guy, the person fell, they hit their head on the curb, died, and the person went to jail for 25 years in both cases. And like, I fucking stretch people out sparring, dude. And I'm like, as soon as my kids got old enough, it was like, what is it, 2020? So, and my daughter was probably like, my daughters were whatever. When my daughters were old enough to where the thought of me being out of their life became so paralyzing to me, I was like, that was one of the main drivers of learning jiu-jitsu, because it was like, it's, dude, if you flatline a person in the street, they can fucking die. Like, absolutely, that could happen, Now, obviously, also, I want to be able to not get hurt and just give myself the best opportunity if I ever had to use it. But like this, the fact that this girl did not die is a miracle. Like, the way a person dies is that exact shot, that exact punch. And it's a fucking full-grown dude. And you could tell by how he moved, like, he's an athletic guy, and he lit her up as hard as he could and head to the pavement, dude. If you haven't seen it, it is fucking crazy. They should put him in prison. Put him in prison. That's what I'm thinking, guys. They should put him in prison. Oh, cool. Here, don't bother. You're in timeout, so you can't chat anyway. Fucking pussy. Anyway, I can't, dude. I literally, I can't. Did you? Yeah, you saw it. You saw that shot. Like, I don't know how anybody could watch that and not like. And the other thing too, that was the girl that got stretched. There was another one. There was all these different clips of that fight, and there was another guy who, the whole entire fight, because this whole fight, this one guy was going over. He's like, stop. And he's trying to break it up. He did not throw a single punch, didn't throw a kick, nothing. He's trying to talk to people. And he's like, guys, stop. He was a peacemaker. He never said anything aggressive. He was trying to settle people down. And he's standing there on the side of the road. And one of these fucking piece of shit animals rolled up on him and flatlined him for no reason at all. None. And I was just like, dude, that kind of, it's like I can't, dude. I can't. I fucking can't. Those kinds of videos. It's like, if a guy, you get into an argument and a dude puts a hand on a guy at all, even if it wasn't like a big shot, whatever, the guy was at least aggressive, and then he got the shit beat out of him by 10 guys. I obviously think that's pussy to jump anybody with more, 3 people. Once you just beat him up yourself, you fucking pussy. But nonetheless, at least the guy invited violence. People who are actively trying to stop violence, who are not fighting, who are trying to calm everybody down, and then you just lay them out in the street, and a fucking girl, it's just like, I can't, dude. I can't. If you guys haven't seen it, it should be pretty easy to find on X. It's unbelievable, dude. Oh, you live in Louisville. I know how you feel. It's about to explode. Over that video? See, man, that's not good, dude. It's not good. There was another video that came out that I saw today. Dude, I'm surprised the guy survived the way he rocked his head on the fall. That was bad too. But the girl's the one where if the headline was this woman was killed, I would have 100% believed it. I mean, like 100%, just like, because they have such a clear shot of her getting, I mean, you know, that kind of shot where the person gets punched in the jaw straight, you know, like usually it's like, you know, you get caught, it's a shot you don't see, you get, and then you know, you get knocked out. But the most devastating knockouts that that I've seen are ones where it's straight, like where the jaw goes straight this way, like where it's straight on the butt, but like straight in. That's a flatline shot. If someone knows how to punch, and that's exactly what he hit her with. It's a fucking woman, and then she hit her head on the pavement on the way down. It was like, it's unbelievable. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. All right, I'm gonna jump. You guys are the best. I'm in Vegas. I'm gonna go play a couple hands of blackjack, then go to sleep. And it was in Cincinnati. If anybody wants to go look it up. I love you guys. Thank you guys very much for the super chats. You guys are very generous. I love all of you guys. Peace.